Welcome to New Sky TV's video today. If you like gentle and delicate stories about friendship and love, sweet moments in the world of celebrities, then this is the content you can't miss. In this video we will enter the emotional world of the actor duo Zhan and Zhang. Jingyi's kissing scene in Legend of the Kang He is too touching, and the extreme tug-of-war under the game of power and intrigue. Their kiss is not a sweet interaction, but the silence before the storm. Kang He and Xiao use kisses as blades in the midst of swords and sabers, which is not only of out to live and die together, but also the ultimate mockery of the game of power and intrigue. This fatal romance tears off the traffic label, and interprets the glimmer of humanity under the iceberg of power and intrigue with eyes and body language. Since the launch of the ancient costume power and intrigue drama Legend of the Kang He, Zhan and Zhang, Jingyi's couple Kang He have refreshed the audience's cognition of ancient costume love with the most ruthless tenderness. In the latest plot, a sudden kissing scene between the two set off a social platform, and was called the clear stream in the power and intrigue drama by netizens. There is no sweet sugar, but a suffocating tension bursts out in the swords and sabers. This scene is not only the highlight of emotion, but also a metaphor for the turning point of the character's fate, pushing the theme of Legend of the Kang He revenge as the shell in humanity as the core to the extreme. In the setting of Legend of the Kang He, the kissing scene between Zhang He and Xiao is not an accidental romance, but a key link in their passing the cup with poison wine plan. In the play, when the two teamed up to set up a plan to overthrow the villain, Zhang He took the opportunity of toasting to pass the poison wine to the enemy, while Xiao used a folding fan as a cover to interfere with the enemy's judgment with mandragora pollen. At this time, the camera closes up the intersection of the two people's eyes. Zhang He's eyes are cold and calculating, while Xiao's eyes hide a trace of resolute compassion. This scene was called the pinnacle of acting with eyes by drama critics, and the kissing scene is the climax of this battle of wits. When the enemy drinks the poison wine, the emotions that have been suppressed for many years burst out on the blade. A kiss is both of out to live and die together and the ultimate mockery of the game of power. As Zhang Jingyi said in an interview, their kiss is not a sweet interaction, but the silence before the storm. The tension of this scene comes from the sense of tearing the roles. Zhang He is a counselor with blood feuds, Xiao is a hostage of the enemy country, and their love is destined to be coursed by power. Director Zhang Xiao sublimates the kiss scene into a declaration of revenge completed with body language through restrained emotional expression. As Zhang Jingyi said in an interview, their kiss is not a sweet interaction, but the silence before the storm. The tension of this scene comes from the sense of tearing the roles. Zhang He is a counselor with blood feuds, Xiao is a hostage of the enemy country, and their love is destined to be coursed by power. Director Zhang Xiao sublimates the kiss scene into a declaration of revenge completed with body language through restrained emotional expression. The relationship between Zhang He and Xiao always walks on the tightrope of exploitation and trust. In the play, the two experience three key turning points: the violent aesthetics of confrontation in the rain. Xiao held a knife against Zhang He's throat. The rain slid down the blade. Zhang He trembled and said, "What is hidden behind the bronze door of Changbei Mountain?" Xiao's fingertips turned white because of holding the handle tightly. In this scene, Zhan portrayed the forbearance and struggle in detail through details such as sudden contraction of pupils and rolling Adam's apple. The silent tacit understanding of the observatory. The two passed information through the stars, and Zhang He deliberately mistranslated the key paragraphs to force him to show up. Zhang Jingyi showed Xiao's swing between trust and suspicion with delicate movements such as slight trembling in the corners of the eyes and lightly flicking pollen with fingertips. The life and death game of the poison wine kiss. When the kiss scene came, the two had changed from opponents who were suspicious of each other to allies who trusted each other with life and death. Zhan incorporated restrained and almost cruel tenderness into the kiss, while Zhang Jingyi conveyed the character's lament for the impermanence of fate with the detail of eyelashes trembling when closing eyes. This progressive emotional logic makes the kiss scene no longer an isolated emotional catharsis, but a footnote to the growth of the character. The reason why the kiss scene in Legend of the Kang He has caused heated discussions is that it subverts the gender narrative of traditional ancient puppet dramas. Xiao is not a silly and sweet waiting to be rescued, but a black swan of political schemes holding two swords and unparalleled wisdom. Kang He is not a domineering and affectionate sadistic male protagonist, but a beautiful, strong and miserable incarnation who uses revenge as a shield and his country as a spear. The equal relationship between the two in the kissing scene is reflected in three aspects: force equality. Xiao's fighting scenes are clean and neat, And the famous scene of fighting the dead soldiers at night with blue clothes and tied hair forms a mirror image of knight-errant woman and counselor with King Hai's political scheme layout, mental game. The play uses a lot of eye-killing and micro-expressions, such as Xiao complex expression of tears in the eyes but sneer when confronting in the tea house, which is in opposition to Kang Hai's restraint of slightly pulling the corners of his mouth but freezing his eyes, emotional sovereignty, in the kissing scene. The two always maintain a posture of being close and distant, without the routine of wall-dong or forced kiss, but use borrowing and gazing and other techniques to show the sense of pull and the power relationship. This de-gendered expression makes the love line no longer an appendage of the political conspiracy, but a dark line deeply intertwined with the main plot. As the chief producer Zhang Ben said, their kiss is a crack in the political conspiracy, revealing a glimmer of humanity. The breakout of Legend of the Hidden Sea has put Zhan and Jingyi in a double test. On the one hand, the drama has broken the aesthetic fatigue of traditional costume dramas with its movie-level texture and anti-routine narrative. With a high reputation of 8.2 on Douban, it has become one of the most discussed dramas in the summer season. The director's precise grasp of the camera language and rhythm control has made the plot relaxed and tense, and the emotional presentation is delicate and real, successfully attracting a large number of passers-by. On the other hand, the acting skills of the leading actor Zhan have also become a hot topic on the internet. He uses his delicate eye skills to show the inner tearing and transformation of the characters, especially in the family-killing scenes. His trembling fingertips and pale lips convey the emotions of the character on the verge of collapse in a shocking way, and after Revenge and Rebirth, the extremely suppressed sneer makes the audience shudder, saying this is not the performance of a traffic actor, but a breakthrough of a powerful actor. Zhang Jingyi is not to be outdone. She shows a sense of hierarchy in the struggle between complex emotions and fate, and successfully injects a fresh soul into the role. The two partners have a tacit understanding, and the emotions are naturally conveyed, which immerses the audience. The breakthrough of Legend of the Kang Hai is not only a victory for the play itself, but also a double affirmation of the leading actors Zhan and Zhang Jingyi. They responded to doubts with their works, and tore off the traffic label with their acting skills, proving to the outside world that truly good actors can stand the test of time in the audience. Zhang Jingyi's Xiao has also become the focus of topic in Legend of the Kang Hai. She successfully interprets the complex characteristics of the character White and Black. When she first met, she smiled like a flower, and she spilled the tea in a coquettish and innocent way, but turned around and put the dagger against Kang Hai's throat with an expressionless face, which was full of contrast and chilling. In the highlight of the confrontation in the tea house, her emotional outburst of tears in her eyes but biting her lips was praised by the audience as textbook-level micro-expression control. The highly layered interpretation showed the inner struggle and anger of the character, and also highlighted her delicacy and tension as an actor. She brought the seemingly weak but actually fierce female character Xiao to life. She is no longer the silly and sweet or stereotyped villain commonly seen in ancient puppet dramas, but a real and three-dimensional existence with independent will and emotional entanglements. However, some viewers pointed out that her performance in the fighting scene still has room for improvement. Especially in the night attack on the Bronze Gate, which is 90% action scenes, her moves are slightly gentle and lack the texture of actual combat, making some high-intensity movements slightly floating. This also triggered some discussions and expectations of her martial arts acting skills among some viewers. Overall, Zhang Jingyi achieved a personal acting breakthrough with Xiao, and the tension and delicate acting skills in emotional scenes are amazing. If she further polishes her action performance, I believe she will bring more surprises to the audience. The kiss scene in Legend of the Kang Hai touches people's hearts, perhaps because it reveals the eternal paradox of power and human nature. In the court of intrigue, the kiss between Kang Hai and Xiao is the only true heart without calculation. On the road of revenge with blood flowing like a river, this kiss scene becomes a firefly that illuminates the darkness. When Zhan and Zhang Jingyi use their eyes and body to complete this fatal romance, the audience sees not only love, but also a story about redemption and reconciliation. Under the iceberg of power, the warmth of human nature has never been extinguished.